Hello my beloveds, my name is Evonne from Embody Mother and welcome to the cycle report for the 19th of January 2019, and I come to you from Central Highlands, Victoria in Australia in the Southern Hemisphere. So here we are 2 weeks away from Lammas, which is the first harvest, and here on this land things are getting really hot. We've had lots of really hot days and it's been really dry and sweaty, and people, everything is right on the surface because it's just so hot. And when I think about these words, it really reflects on this life stage of what menopause would be. So Lammas and menopause are on the same point of the wheel. So if you look on the wheel with you've got summer solstice with mother and father energy, and as you come off that peak you come into menopause and Lammas and autumn, and it's the first harvest. It's like coming off the full moon as well, so all those points on the wheel. So when you think of menopause you think of hot and everything on the surface and dry. And as my teacher Jane Hardwicke Collings says, that menopause is the mother of all wake-up calls. So anything that you haven't dealt with on your life journey all comes out at menopause, and that's the same with any point on this cycle. So anything that hasn't been dealt with for the year starts coming up. It's like you're coming off ovulation and everything's starting to become, you're starting to see your harvest. So if it started off at the cycle that was a bit scratchy, by first harvest of your cycle, everything's going to show up to show you what needs to be worked on to set the seeds, what we spoke about last week, for the next cycle. So here we are, as we said, like last week, everything's showing up to be dealt with so we can collect those seeds of gold and sow them on for the next. So Lammas, menopause, the same point. With that also we have a full moon on Monday, so that's Monday today's the 21st, and it's an eclipse full moon. So at the moment we're in between two eclipses. So from what I can gather from other astro readings for this time is that between eclipses always shows up all the stuff that needs to be dealt with. So it's like with the sun being covered by the moon, it's almost bringing out the shadow of illuminous. So the full moon being fully illuminated and the eclipse is like the full shadow. So this point is actually pretty gold actually. So everything coming up to the surface, like Lammas, like menopause, here it is. Here's the things that we need to deal with before, and sow and collect the seeds of gold, like really lean into what is coming up, what is showing up. Lean into it, deal with it, collect the seeds for the next cycle and gather the gold so we can grow and evolve and expand in love. What else is there? And my personal cycle, I am day 5. So what does that look like for me? My experience of that for the last few days has been exactly that. Everything has been right up to the surface. It's really playing out with these hot days and this full moon eclipse intensities, and it's showing up everywhere, especially in my love life, and everything is sitting there to be dealt with. And when there's open communication, and my insights have been really expansive. So talking truth, talking honestly, saying this is what I need, this is what we need, what do you need? Let's work on this together and really push through. And as it's come through, you can feel deeper connection from that. So that's been the gold from my bleeding cycle. And sitting in day 5 looking on the upper, which is I guess really exciting to think that this is the start of this my bleeding cycle, and how it's coupled up with the harvest time and this full moon illumination of the shadows. So a new thing I want to add to these cycle reports is actually some journal and red tent reflective questions. So if you are journaling, and also if you hold a red tent space or you sit in circle, some questions you might want to add to this phase would be, what's the story of your menopause? So, what's the story of, if you're experienced menopause yourself, or you're about to go through it, or, also what's the story of your family in menopause phase? How does the lineage of your women do menopause? How does it feel to them? Is it being medicated? Is it being embraced? What's the experience of menopause in your family? And also, what are the shadows showing up under this full moon? And what are the seeds that you're gathering from this harvest, ready to plant in the next harvest? So there are some questions you might want to sit in, or deliver to your circle if you sit in a circle. And just to add, I just wanted to add a couple of more things too, is some events that are going on that's happening right now. So coming up on the 2nd of February, Rachel Pilgrim and myself will be doing Moon Song, so the School of Shamanic Womancraft program that Jane Hardwicke Collings has developed is Moon Song, which dives deeper into this cycles and what does it all mean on all the life. We go around the circle and we really sink in and dive deep into what does midwinter, solstice, midnight, what is the energy of that? And then we move to spring equinox, and we move into the maiden phase, and we go right around. So that is the Moon Song workshop happening in Central Victoria on the 2nd of February. And also that mid-March, so Evonne, which is autumn equinox, I'll be starting up a Zoom circle. So places are limited to 10 women to join me to sit in a Zoom circle to really dive deeper into this work. And that will happen from the mid-March. And if you want to get a taster of that, I'll be doing a circle in a couple of weeks on the 4th of February of the Lammas circle, which will be free. And so you're most welcome to follow the links below and email me, and we can talk about that more if you want to get a bit of a taster before investing in the full dive into the descent and ascent from equinox to equinox. And also, as from February, I will be available for one-on-one deep diving in Shamanic Womancraft. So if any of this interests you, or you want to know more about what we do or what I do, follow the links, email me. I'd love to hear from you. I love hearing from all the people who are leaving comments. Deep gratitude to you all. And wherever you are and wherever you're sitting in your cycle, may you know that you are deeply loved and deeply held. Thank you so much for listening. So much love to you. Bye.